It's Jason Abraham, shadow teacher, and inspiration is a fickle friend. The muse comes, if she comes at all. She might give you a little peck on the cheek. Who knows? You might go all the way with her and experience ecstatic bliss that you never experienced before in your life. But just like that, she can be gone. It's not going to last forever. Right now, as I'm making this video, my courtship with the muse is over. So what do you fucking do? What do you do when inspiration that just came out of nowhere, that inspired you day in, day out to get up and do things that you never imagined you could do? What happens? What do you do when that's gone? There's a book, famous book by Steven Pressfield called The War of Art. And it's a book to encourage creative types like me. And it's to encourage us and remind us the dedication that is asked of us, dedication that is required of us as creative artists. And what is required is to show up each and every day, to commit to your process, whether you feel like it or not. And when you do this, when you're able to have the discipline and the commitment to show up, whether you feel like it, whether you have some divine intervention that talks to you, whether the synchronicity key is turning for you, or whether the door is locked, when you continue to show up, it transforms who you are. You become something more than what you were yesterday. The character of someone who has discipline and commitment is an unbreakable spirit. It is a spirit of dedication that is truly worthy of the art that wants to move through you, moving to its fullest expression. And the self-worth of one who knows they are still able to show up and perform to their absolute best, to commit and give everything they've got, empty their hearts and their souls for their art. The confidence and the character that builds is priceless. I was having this conversation with a client of mine the other day, a fickle client, a client who will achieve their goals and they quit, and they have short bursts of motivation, and they're all in their motivation in the times when they're motivated, but when they're not motivated, they just don't show up, and they always end up in a worse place than they were before, and they repeat that cycle. And I find too many people in the world are like that. They just do what they feel like, and everything comes from something external, because they don't have the character, they haven't developed the character within themselves to stay on that path to what is meaningful. And I used to be like that. When I was young, when I was a kid, I would start stuff and I would quit, and I would always get frustrated and beat myself up, say, man, why can't I do anything significant? And it was just, again, this starting and stopping and this lack of commitment, this fickleness. And some of that, I'll blame on, I was a latchkey kid and I was raised by the television. And that is what corporate media teaches you. It brainwashes you into expecting instant gratification in your life all the time. And it's a fucking lie. And if you believe that, if you believe what the corporate media tells you about pretty much everything, then you are going to be a substandard human soul. And I refused to do that. I was always dedicated to something bigger, and once I understood what was actually going on and made that commitment, then my life changed, and it's continuing to change. And right now, my mission is making these videos, making 5 videos or 10 videos a week, 5 on 2 different platforms. And I fully accept that though we all want to be remembered after our physical form goes, I fully accept that all my work could be washed away in an instant. But this is what I'm called to do right now, so I say yes to it. And I lean into it, and I go in regardless. Because it's about something bigger than me. It's about something that wants to move through me, and this is the medium that it wants to do that right now. At some point, it's going to want to do that in a different medium. And when that's the case, then I always pray that I'm going to have the wisdom to know what that is, and I will say yes to it once I do. But that being said, that's actually when the muse does talk to you, wants you sometimes to take a different direction. But once you're on that direction, you got to do the work. You got to do the fucking work. You have to show up, and you have to grind out what is asked of you, what is needed of you, what is required of you, even when you don't feel like doing it. Even when that lovely muse, when she dumps you and tells you that she no longer loves you, that she's not attracted to you anymore, when she friend zones you, or worse, just pushes you out altogether, you still got to show up for what's called of you. That being said, I will see you on the other side. Be well, my friends.